Hi guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, my name's Eva and I'm a mortgage power planner. Now, I cannot believe that we're already in April. Like, where has the time gone? Like, what is going on? Anyways, start of a new month obviously means one thing, and that's another episode of the Deeks at My Budget series. So today we're going to be looking over my March income and spending to see how I've done both on the income front and also on the spending front. But before we jump into the video, if you could hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel down below, I would really appreciate that. So let's jump right into the video. So as always, let's start off with having a look at the overall spending first to see where all my money has actually gone. Now, if you've watched some of my previous Deeks at My Budget episodes, you'll notice that I've actually added a few categories onto there just because it was a bit of a mess. I had a category for other costs that was just getting a bit messy, to be fair, so I just wanted to split it out a bit just for my own purposes really, so I can track and monitor everything a little bit better. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the actual figures. So let's start with housing. I'm not going to go through it all because I have done previously in the other episodes, so have a look at those if you want any kind of breakdown of the figures. Now, the only thing I'm going to mention on this one is the mortgage and why it's 2 payments rather than 1. So basically the way that my payments have actually fallen in March, where there was one payment taken at the beginning of March, so on the 1st, and then another one taken on the 31st. So it ended up being 2 payments, and I want this to be as accurate as possible, so that's why I've included both in the budget. Now, I'm expecting there not to be one in April, but who knows, so we'll have a look at that. And also council tax, there was a break in council tax in February and March, so there was no council tax to pay. But other than that, my costs are pretty static. We've managed to cut down slightly on the food and toiletries, on that kind of housekeeping costs and washing, so that's good news. But let's go further. So then we've got the debt category. Once again, I've explained most of these already in the previous episode, so I won't go into too much detail. Personal loan, standard, I've made the full £150 repayment. PayPal credit, so I did have a buy now pay later agreement that I needed to clear off, so that was £110. I wasn't in my overdraft, so I managed to start March kind of a positive balance, let's say, so I wasn't in my overdraft. And car finance, once again standard, so that should hopefully fall off soon. Moving on, we've got transport, so insurance, I pay it once a year. Fuel, so my fuel has gone up slightly because I actually had more errands to run in March, which isn't great. No tax, but maintenance, it was the car service and it needed quite a lot of things done to it, so yeah, that cost me a little bit too much for my liking, if I'm honest. And this doesn't include the service itself because luckily I've got a service plan, so yeah, quite a lot of repairs needed to be done on it, but it's unfortunately that's what happens when you have a car. Next, we've got savings and investments, and unfortunately, and you'll soon realise why, but unfortunately I wasn't able to put anything in either my pension, my savings or my sinking fund in March, which I'm honestly really not happy with, but as I say, you'll shortly know why. So next we've got insurance and kind of account fees. Once again, that's unchanged. I've still got the 2 separate life insurance policies and nothing on that has changed. That's pretty static. So next we have gifts and donations. So as you guys know, I do like to donate because I do feel like it's a good habit to get into. So it's not as high as I would have liked it to be, if I'm completely honest, but I'm just happy that I've managed to donate something. So really pleased with that. Gifts to family and friends, it was Mother's Day, so obviously I had to get my mum's a little something. So that's where that money went. Now this is one of the new sections, which is the subscriptions section, and the reason for that is just so I can actually keep a better eye on the subscriptions that I've got to make sure that I'm not actually paying for stuff that I'm not using. So I've included my mobile in there as well because I am just on a SIM only contract. So we've got my mobile, Netflix, CII membership, which is for all my exams, and the lottery. So it's pretty okay, it's not too bad. I might have to review it at some point, but for the time being we'll go with it. So the pet section, we've got the likes of your food, the likes of your vets, and just toys and stuff in general. So yeah, once again Kitty got spoiled, but you know, it's only fair. She's our little child, so she gets everything she wants. Then we've got Miscellaneous for the likes of you going out, for your takeaways, stuff like that. Now, once again, if you've watched the previous episodes, you will have seen that I had kind of takeaways and going out and coffees in one big chunk, whereas I thought, right, I need to actually split it down just so I know where all of that money is going. So yeah, going out, we didn't buy any restaurant meals this month, last month, so nothing in there. Takeaways, right, once again, if you watch my last episode, we were supposed to be cutting down and only having one takeaway. Yeah, that didn't really work out, so we're gonna swiftly move past that one, unfortunately. It's not as bad as it was last time, but still not happy with it. Coffee, so the likes of Costas, you know, I do love a good Costa, so that was that. And passport, this is a very kind of miscellaneous item because it's not something I get on a regular basis, but I had to renew my passport, so that set me back quite a bit of money. Won't go into any further detail on that. Personal care, obviously no hair and nails. Gym membership has been frozen probably until this month. I haven't bought any new books, no new clothes. The only thing I paid for was the dentist. So of course, this is the part that you probably want to know the most, and that's how much money did I make. So if this is the first budget video that you are watching, I am self-employed, therefore my income fluctuates massively on a monthly basis. I'll be honest, March has not gone to plan whatsoever. A lot of my income has been deferred into the following months, which obviously isn't ideal from March point of view, but I know I'll be getting more in the near future. It does sometimes make me feel like a bit of a failure when I look at the income and I'm like, oh my god, like what is going on? Like, am I not doing enough? What's going wrong? But I know that things take time, right? It is going to take time to build up a more stable income, but I'm hoping that all the things that I'm doing now will pay off in the near future. But enough of my motivational talk, let's look at the figures. So as you can see, my projected income was about £2,200, which, to be honest, the way I calculate that is that'll do. I have no idea, in all fairness, how much is actually going to come in on a monthly basis. So this is sort of the figure that I'm working towards on a monthly basis to be able to pay for most of my expenditure. So when it comes to the actual income, as you can see, things are not pretty. Now, the figure isn't as low as the January figure, however, it's not much higher either. And obviously, if you watched my February update, February was an amazing month. So I am quite sad to see that this figure is so low for this month. However, good things take time, right? So let's just hope I redeem myself in April. So yeah, the actual income figure for March was £874.96. So when we actually have a look at the total income minus the total expenses, which obviously, as you've seen, my total expenses were ridiculous this month, much higher than what I would normally expect. So the net position for March is the worst net position I've been in, and that's minus £1,581.03. I'm laughing about it on camera, but I'm crying inside. Honestly guys, I'm really hoping that net position is going to start being green more often than red. So when it comes to the overall income figures, as you know, my income figure for this year is to make £50,000. And if you haven't already watched my 2021 goal setting video, have a look at that because that explains that in more detail. But yeah, ultimately £50,000 is the goal for this year. Now, as at the end of March, my total income is £5,593.38. Thank you, Tess. Let's not look at the expenditure and the overall net position. We'll get that to be green again. So guys, that is it for the March budget update. Once again, I hope you enjoyed it. As personally, I love being nosy about people's incomes and where they spend the money. Obviously, it hasn't quite gone to plan. It's not what I expected, but unfortunately, these things happen. And as I said, as a self-employed individual, it's part of the journey. So I hope you can appreciate my transparency doing this and that. This is quite difficult to share because to some people I'll look like a failure, but that's okay. That's not what I think of myself. You know, I know that that's gonna increase, and I know I'm gonna work hard to increase that income and to hit my goal. So if you want to join me on this journey, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and while you're at it, hit this video with a big like, as it's free, doesn't cost you anything, so you may as well support me if you've made it this far. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys back on Friday with a brand new video. Bye guys.